Listening to the Law Enforcement Pirate Radio Network. Radio Free Larry presiding.
You can run, but you can't hide.
Radio Free Larry.
Here we go again. Buckle up. Rough roads ahead. She was nice, very nice woman behind the counter. Greatest return I probably ever did off of an online order or anything like that. In store, that is. In store, online. You know, online, you go in store sometimes they're a little off because, you know, why are you bothering us? I mean, you did this online and now we got to deal with it. They'll be firing all of us because of somebody like you. Usually, if I said, you know, not enough support, I said, you know, not somebody my weight. No. That's what it is. I figure probably up to 160, 170, which I was before I got injured. So, and that was another reason they attacked. They saw my health coming up. A lot of people out jogging in the evening here. I used to be a jogger till I joined the government, right? Ruined everything. 100%. I consider actually the military is not considered government, but yet it is, you know. But, right. Actually, so my latest test. Again, I really test them. Actually, God does, and I'm there to do what God asked me to do to test them. Thank you, Larry. So what I wanted to do, one of the things I wanted to do was shift. Oh, Jesus, slow down. What the hell? You came over that hill awfully quick there. Both of you, actually, all of you. What's the speed limit here? I think we need a speed trap. Get a speed trap here as soon as possible. And here comes the train. Thank you, Larry. Thank you, Larry. So I wanted to move from the trans porn I was investigating on how that worked and what it would do, right, to some sort of heterosexual porn, but I didn't want to. They guessed it. You actually heard me say one day they guessed what I was going to do. Because what they're doing is trying to think what direction I'm going to go, and then say I went in that direction because of something else. 100%. So something weird heterosexual came up after that. Again, involving a woman that was using some insights language. Could be just weird, you know. Could be Satan. So I'm not saying it was physical. To try to, you know, get me to maybe extend the conversation. Right. Then what was the other thing? Oh, they're projecting me gay. They're like livid that I looked at heterosexual porn. They probably call people from all across the world. So it kind of worked to study what they're doing. And a lot of these people are either part of the church or part of the partners with the church. So again, 100%, actually. But again, that's how do you think God figures out what you're all doing? Like, it's not complicated, but it requires further explanation. So this is how God on earth figures out what you're doing and has it entered into the system. And then further, the system will be graded on what it does about it or what it doesn't do about it. 100%. Thank you. And most of them are conservatives. I'm sure there's some gay people that do that. Like they want to get back into conservative. Like one of the worst things you can do online is like take a certain standpoint like that if you're not in the deep state, because you'll have no protection from somebody trying to deep state you into what you take a stand against. 100%. Now, some of that is satanic naturally, but it's also, it can't. In other words, it can't be satanic naturally without people on the planet doing it satanically remote control. Because then it replicates itself. Oh my God. Well, they'll try, like they're hoping I would go in that same direction. And then I'm like, well, he seems to be around this woman a lot. That's probably why. You know, when the woman's stalking me. And like the woman, like I said, when I look at the apartment, she seems a little bit forward. Right. And I haven't had something like that happen in a long time. Regular. And again, that company I didn't realize was the same company I've dealt with in 3 separate apartment complexes. That's a nice vehicle. What is that, lady? You know you got it going on with that vehicle, Jeep. Like a big Jeep. It's like a Wagoneer, like a new Wagoneer or something. He's like at the intersection singing. And I looked at her and I was like, you got it going on. She looked away. Oh, I don't see you. I don't see you. Grooving my music. Oh, okay, so you're trying to stop me here at this intersection. I know how it works. There's nobody there, so it shouldn't have changed the light. Farley. Your name will be Farley from now on. Everybody call that person Farley. I'm freaking hungry, but I don't want to eat. I don't know if I want to eat. I have some good food. I eat good food because God blesses me like that. I have a retirement that's okay because God blesses me. They ruin everything. 100%. And it would have been better. I mean, obviously, I should have my military disability increased. 100%. Thank you much. They just do what they do because they're corrupt. They do what they do. They do what they do. They do what they do. So they gave somebody a ride to their caseworker today. They needed to go to the library. He's trying to get into an apartment out of here, and so hopefully he gets there. Thank you much. Well, he lived a pretty bad life, you know, and then, you know, Satan gets him down on himself on making decisions. And I said, yeah, but there's a higher calling, a higher level of Christianity if you can see it. As it's been covered over by years of corrupt people in the church with authority blocking it. 100%. Thank you. And I gave him that you can't forgive yourself if you don't forgive other people, and you can't forgive other people if you don't forgive yourself. Thank you very much. Because Satan will use it. That's how they get people to commit suicide, like trying to believe that they made the wrong choices while they're, you know, spy crafting and witchcrafting them. Thank you. So I got to wait on this shoe and see how it works. Wasn't cheap. But I think it was respectable compared to the original price. Right. Even the other ones I paid, because I rush shipped those at Famous Footwear. I paid like, ended up paying like $175 is 80, almost the same price, a little bit more for this one, but this one is a built-in orthotic. They may not have paid me. They paid me all. I guess they paid me all of it. Right. I think if I got my shipping refunded. It's a big order. It was like 175. So it sucked. I thought I was buying the right shoe. I mean, there's no support in it. There's like one person that said, "Oh, I don't have to wear my orthotics anymore." Probably weighs like 120 pounds. And when I get to the store, who do you think I got it weighs 120 pounds, right? maybe 130 or something like that. Reminds me of Rodney. Okay. So here we are. So what may have happened here? He told me he heard the prices went up here. So this is weird. They all come in here. They don't need us anymore. They increase the prices. But I told him the price he heard may have been somebody that doesn't know how to work. Make the phone call to the operator at the reservation line and get a good price. Right. There's this lady. Her husband works so much. Right. Okay. But I was talking to her, and we're talking about narcissistic people, and it seems like he's stuck in that thing. Because right now they're working him and they don't appreciate him. But he was there in another store where they did that, and then they kiboshed him. So what they do is they take your power down. If they're doing what they're supposed to do as a company, then you stay up high enough in the company that nothing happens to you. But like in a Marshal Service, they F you off all the time. And if you apply yourself like a great employee, like I was, then it kills you. Thank you, Larry. I don't know. This go around, it doesn't seem like the people are. I mean, they don't like it. They don't like this push towards electric cars so fast because not everybody can afford it. They don't like some of the things that are going on, economically, whatever. But Trump used that up last time. They just went with that because Trump was going to fix everything, and he didn't. 100%. It was a scam. I believe he ended up not getting elected because he's that lucky, quote unquote. Because it would have been worse than when Biden took it over. Right. Even if COVID didn't happen, he was building a bubble. Robbing Peter to pay Paul, and him and his cronies were Paul. Everybody else was Peter. I mean, that's what the tariff and farmer thing was. Trump's like, well, the farmers don't appreciate me. Well, you made them go broke, so you paid them back. They're still affected by it. 100%. Tariffs were stupid. We had a balance of economy. 100%. Well, Americans were forced to keep their prices lower, which is what we all could afford. As soon as you got rid of the foreign competition, they raised everything and still hasn't stopped price gouging in some areas. 100%. And you know what? Innovation is dead. You can only blame COVID so much, all of you. 100%. Yeah, the world of things is flat. So sit back and say, wow, when Twitter becomes X. There's no innovation in much equipment that we're purchasing, not like it was before the tariffs. And then COVID, of course. That was like a 1-2 punch. Now to season potatoes, great. Buy that popcorn I forget what the company is, but it's a powder from Walmart. It's butter and like a little bit of salt or something like that. But it's not like really unhealthy like butter. Right. You take that and you put it on some like you fry up some potatoes, put some of that on there. That tastes great. It's like perfect butter and a little bit of salt. I mean, don't drench it, just like sprinkle it lightly. You don't need much at all. So I guess that probably work with all the pop because they make a variety of popcorn seasonings. They probably all work. Right. But some have additional sat fat, like the cheesy ones. Right. So popcorn seasoning works on potatoes, like like hash brown, diced potatoes and hash brown potatoes. 100%. Maybe even French fries. So it was going to be really nice to be in Olathe, but I can't afford those extra fees. I was already stretched. Right. And I don't think my raise next year is going to be as big as last year's, theoretically, but it could be. So that's what happens when the inflation goes down a little bit. You ended up paying for it and never get compensated for it. Anyway, the inflation index is BS. Everything's BS, actually. Even church. I mean, isn't that disgusting? Here you think some women are just being sexy in church, which is inappropriate, but you believe that that's what's happening. Right. Turns out they're working for the partners, baiting you to make a move on them. When you're going to church and it's supposed to move you in the other direction. So don't listen to them, trans and gay people. They're off. They're totally off color and off base in their churches. It's disgusting. Black people are definitely oppressed around here. They want to go over. They hate when they're in Kansas. They want to move them all to Missouri. Kind of a Texas, Florida thing. Trying to move the gay people and whatnot. What happens is, if their woman turns you on and you connect to her, if she has malicious intention, then she has a way into your sexuality. Government people know that. A lot of the seers know that. So that's what that bait thing is actually for, to twist your sexuality and it frustrates you, so you'll become the what do they call that? The Pulse nightclub shooter. 100%. If I didn't have such a strong sense of right and wrong, I had been gone long ago. I'm actually one of the strongest guys in this direction on the planet. But you all don't have anything forcing you in any of these directions. No, it's not a mention of guilt, Miss Psychology. So again, they're all like Jussie Smollett, but worse. Jussie Smollett is the least of it, because he didn't point at somebody directly and say that person did it. That's what they're doing. They're doing Jussie Smollett while directly pointing at people and saying they're this or they're that. Oh, now they want me to hang up. They're all mad. Say goodbye. Say goodbye. Get off. Wills, I will. His name is Spike Crab. Thank you, Larry. I didn't realize there's a cell tower right over there. Ah! kind of far enough away. Right. There's only one. Right. Kind of a dreary looking day though, even though it was like hot. It's like a weird weather. But if the sun was out, we'd have been real hot. So tomorrow it'd be interesting to see what happens. And she agreed with me, the girl that worked at Famous Footwear. I said, usually we get like halfway through a heat wave and it rains and then it goes away. So if we're lucky, that'll happen. Thank you. Heal in the name of Jesus. No, not the weather. This guy just walked past. They're gaying him. He don't want to be gay. I wouldn't have seen it that way if that wasn't what it was. So now, some transgender stuff I explained before exists because people are sexual devils and demons, and they're willing sex partners. And in I don't know what Rose McGowan's history is, but she did end up getting an STD. So that means she was pretty much sexually active. Right. But some of it actually came against her father. Right. Ended up attacking her life. And then the future she won't live as a preacher. Even though if it starts young as a child, even if you're born that way, there's a lot of metaphysics involved. Right. But again, other things are happening in other people's lives. Like some people are MAGA. Same thing. It's part of being metaphysically changed into that. But then there's limitations. Again, if you're trans and you're trying to force other people trans, then that's wrong. If you're MAGA and doing what MAGA does, it's wrong, you know. Is it wrong to be trans, church? Is it wrong to be you? Church? Scripturally, yes. It's wrong to be you, church. Well, stay peaceful. Praise God.